Hello everybody. Today we're going to have a go at making some toilet tube animals. I was looking at these the other day and I was thinking, what could we make with these? And I was thinking, it looks a bit like a ready-made body of an animal. So if you just put 4 legs and a head and a tail, you've got an animal. So I thought we'd have a go at making a toilet tube cat today. So for this you're going to need 2 of these. No, sorry, strike that. This is going to be over 3 videos. So this is the first one. First, today we're going to make the head and the tail end. Next video will be the legs, and then the video after that will be painting and decorating it. Okay, because it's a little bit complicated. Well, not complicated, it just takes lots of steps. So it's not difficult, but lots and lots of different things to do to get it to look like a cat. But it's lots of fun. So you're just going to need 1 of these. You're going to need some paper. You're going to need a cup that's a little bit bigger than your tube. So the tube fits inside the cup. Most cups are the right size. Glue, scissors, pencil, ruler. Oh, and some thin card. So I got this from the recycling box before it goes out. So it's just an old packet. So a strip of thin card is all you need for this one. So the first step, so let's put the body to one side, and we take our cup and we draw a circle. Draw around our cup, and then we do that again. So we've got 2 circles. Cut those out, end up with a circle. Now fold your circle in half. And then in half again. So it's now into quarters, like that. And then again. So it ends up in 8ths, that sort of shape. Okay, open it up. And you end up with these folded lines. Okay, so now you need to draw along those lines. Okay, you can use a ruler for this. You want to be really, really careful. It doesn't matter that much. You end up with the lines drawn in pencil. Now we're just going to choose one of those segments. So this one, and we're going to cut that segment out. Doesn't matter which one you choose, any of the segments, cut that out. And with your glue, I'm reusing some paper, so put the writing on the inside of your cone. So push the 2 flaps together to make a cone, and then put some glue on both those flaps, and you end up with a cone. Okay. Now get yourself some sellotape. Did I mention you needed sellotape? Might have forgotten that, but you do. Push those things to one side. Take your tube, and you want 1 piece of sellotape, and you're going to attach it to one of the segments, and then, as if you're putting a hat onto your tube, push it down and push the tape on, and do that around the other side. So it's the opposite triangle. You can see that. Those two opposite triangles are now stuck. They will be in a moment. Will be stuck down opposite each other. And pull the cone so it's nice and tightly held on the top. Okay. Then we're going to do that on the opposite sides, which makes that sort of shape. Tape there. Tape on the other side. Okay, so we end up with something like that. Now, if you've noticed, we've already got the point, which is going to be the nose of our cat. So that's all ready. Don't need to do anything more with that. What we do need to do now is to decide which way up it's going. Okay, so I'm going to have these 2 points as my ears. I'm going to pinch those together, which makes the ears. It's already looking a little bit cat-like, isn't it? But we're going to make those ears a bit bigger. Okay. So remembering that this is the top, I'm going to squash flat the other two. We don't need those. Then I'm going to put a bit of tape there and there to squash them flat and out of the way. And then just leave our ears sticking up. Oops, that's a bit of tape that's not worked. Okay, so we're left with that shape. So it's smooth around here. So that's going to be the cat's mouth. The whiskers are going to go there and there. There's the nose, and there are these little tiny ears. So I think we need to make those ears a bit bigger. So we need 2 triangles of paper, and we're going to stick them to both of those pointy, sticky up bits. Okay, I'm just going to get myself some more tape because I've run out. If you're lucky enough to have one of those tape dispensers, then you don't need to do this bit. I haven't got one of those, unfortunately. So I just have to cut myself lots of bits of tape ready to use. Sometimes when you're making craft, you haven't got 2 hands spare. You've only got 1. Right, that's that bit done. Right, where were we? We're going to make 2 little triangles. So we need a strip of paper. So I'm going to get my ruler. I'm just going to draw a line. Let's say it needs to be 2 centimetres from the edge of the paper. Okay. And make a mark 2 centimetres. Let's see what I'm doing here. And then another one down here. Join those 2 lines together. Just like that. So that's 2 centimetres from there. And it's down there, and you join that line together. Cut that strip out. Doesn't need to be very long. And then all you need is 2 squares. So we'll just do it roughly to begin with. There's 1. And there's another. Okay. And we're going to fold the square in half to make a triangle. It's a little bit fiddly. Okay, like that. And then the other one. If your square isn't quite a proper triangle, just trim it to shape. So you end up with 2 triangles. Now this bit is a little bit fiddly. What we need to do is to put a bit of glue on triangle and stick it together. Have to be a little bit quick with this bit. And a little bit of glue on that bit. And now, before the glue dries really properly, I'm going to unstick it slightly. And stick it to the ear flap. Okay, we're going to use some sellotape to reinforce it. Just wrap the tape right over the top of the ear. Trim off any bits of tape that you don't need. So you end up with one ear stuck to that flap. So we do the same with the other side. Make sure they stick up. Okay, stuck to the top of the head. Wrap it around the ear, other side, and onto the body. You're going to end up with lots and lots of tape covering this. That's not a problem, because the whole thing is going to be painted with acrylic paint, which goes over the top of tape, so it'll be fine. So we end up with two ears, if you can see that. They've been attached to the little flaps that we left, which just makes it easier to stick them on. Okay, so apart from painting, that's the head all finished. So now we need to concentrate on the tail end, and that's why we have two circles, because so we make another cone. So get your second circle, cut that out. Exactly the same as you did the last time. Get your circle, fold it in half if you remember, and then half again. Then half again. So it's 3 folds all together, and you end up with little tiny segment shape. Unfold it. So we've got the fold lines. Now we're going to draw over the fold lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then cut out one of the segments and stick it. So, bit of glue on one of the segments. Stick it together. And then exactly the same, we stick it to the end, the other end. So in exactly the same way, we need 2 bits of tape by the side of the circle. And there, let's do that on the top. Oops. Let's get that right, shall we? So again, the tube is making a little hat for the other end. Tape is pulled down to attach the tube, attached to the tube. Another bit of tape on the opposite side. It's good to do the opposites because then you can make sure your cone has gone on nice and evenly. Okay. Make sure it's good and tight onto the tube as well. Remember, we don't want it flopping around, so it's good and tight on top there. Okay, a bit of tape either side. squash all of those edges down. And run some tape all the way around the edge. Oops, I've run out of tape again. This is why we need one of those magic tape dispensers. Let's get myself one of those, then we can go to the shops again. That will be nice, won't it? Run a piece of tape all the way round. Okay, so the next foldy bit. Decide where the top of the head is, which is here between the two ears. Got one ear here and one ear here. So this is the back, the top of the body. So if we turn it around this way, making sure the ears are on top, we want to squash the pointy bit of the cone flat, making sure it's horizontal to the body. Okay, so not that way, but that way. Okay, so we're going to use this to attach the tail to. The tail, this is where our piece of card comes in, is a very simple strip of card, which is sort of cat tail length and shape. So I reckon that's about the right length. You might want your cat to have a shorter tail or a fatter tail. It's completely up to you. But we do want the tail to be able to kind of stick up like a cat's tail does. I'm just going to cut a curve on the end of the tail so it looks just like that. And now let's work out where the top of my body is. We're going to attach the tail to that flap. Okay, so a bit of tape this side and this side. Very exciting because we're very nearly done with the first stage. See, it does take a lot of stages, but it's not difficult, is it? So on one side of the tape, of the strip of card, I beg your pardon. Now, this is a bit tricky, so use the flap of the cone to attach your card tail to. Press the tape down onto the body and wrap it around. And still holding it in place with your second piece of tape, because you don't want this to come adrift. Tape on the underside of the tail. So it goes up over the body, bends and then attaches to the tail, just to make sure that's really securely on. Now, if you've done all of that and your card has got a good bend to it, you can then push it up, which looks like, that's my cat outside meowing at me. I think he wants to come in. So I think you'll agree that without legs, that's starting to look quite a lot like a cat. Okay, we'll leave it there. Next video, I'll show you how to make the legs. Okay, so good luck with all of that. There are lots of steps, but what you could do is if you miss a bit, you can go back over it. So just rewind the video a bit, go back and go, well, what was she on about? Let's do that bit again. So you can do that, okay? So good luck, and hopefully I'll see you for the next one when we're going to make the legs for our cat. Okay, bye-bye for now.